everybody out there on YouTube and social media lands, welcome to an all-new video. In this video we're going to be reviewing a new movie that just got released on HBO Max about a month or so ago, and is a action-packed kind of like almost rear window type of film. We're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video and the other videos I put up. And as always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter as well, where you might find some interesting, awesome concepts and stuff like that too as well. So definitely check those out. And as always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be reviewing a new film that just came out like a month ago, like I said, onto HBO Max, and is a action-packed type of like rear window type of film, like I said before, that is an interesting take, but there's a lot of things that, you know, could have been better, I feel. And then of course the film called Kimi. Yeah, Kimi. Yeah. Kimi. So Kimi, like I said, just got released on HBO Max about a month ago or so. I just got around to watching it, and it's an interesting film. There's a lot of things, like I said before, it's got a lot of greatness to it, but also at the same time it had a lot of things that I did not care for. And we'll be getting into that and just kind of delving deep into a little bit about what Kimi is about. So Kimi is directed none other by a gentleman that has a huge resume of films. He's an Oscar-nominated, Oscar winner director, and is just a really fun director, and I always usually enjoy most of his films. Then, of course, is Mr. Steven Soderbergh. Oh yeah, Steven Soderbergh. Woo, Steven Soderbergh. Oh. So Steven Soderbergh, of course, you might recognize as the director of the film Traffic, Out of Sight, Aaron Brockovich, Unsane, lots and lots of films he's directed, and he is just an amazing director. I mean, one of his first films, of course, was, you know, Sex, Lies, and Videotape was one of his first films that he directed, which came out in '89 and was a huge success, and he just keeps amping up his resume with each film he does and just does such an amazing job. But I definitely feel that this is probably one of my least favorite of the films that he has directed, actually. And I thought he could have done so much more with this film, and just, I think that there was a great potential with the film, but I don't think he fully realized it, and I think that's probably because it was a direct-to HBO Max type of deal versus an actual theatrical release. So, you know, I'm not sure, because you look at Unsane, and he did a fantastic job, and he filmed that all on an iPhone. So, you know, I just feel like this was not his best feature film. Now, another great film that actually Steven Soderbergh has directed that I really enjoyed and think is a great film is the beginning to a great trilogy of films that he directed that started in 2001 with a film called Ocean's 11. Yeah, Ocean's 11. This movie is fantastic. It's so much fun. All-star cast in this film, and just a really fun kind of like heist, bank robbery type of film with some comedy twist, and just, like I said, a great all-star cast. I mean, you had cameos from a lot of big stars at the time, you know, Joshua Jackson and so forth and stuff like that. And, you know, with the lead being George Clooney and Brad Pitt being a really big lead in the film, they just really worked really well together, and Steven did such a great job of bringing this cast together and giving this really fantastic film that was just so much fun and so enjoyable. And you could see, you know, just the wheels turning with what he did with this film that just made it such a great franchise with each subsequent film. And I just thought that he did an overall great job of giving us a lot of great comedy, some action, some drama, and then just a really great screenplay that really played out very well. It was a great remake of a classic, you know, from the 60s. So I thought he did an overall good job with that film and just made it such a great film. If you haven't seen Ocean 11, definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. But going back to Kimi, like I said, I feel he could have done so much more to the film. I think he could have casted it better, and overall I just thought he could have done more with the film than what was achieved. Overall, not my favorite of his films, but definitely he still did a good enough job to keep you entertained and, you know, want to watch and, you know, fully watch the film. So this film actually has a very diverse cast. It was a really, you know, it had a decent casting. Wasn't the best casting, but there definitely was some casting I wish they could have changed and give us a different person to portray particular characters. But there was a couple characters that I thought were just really fantastic, and I thought were just really great additions that, it was nice to see these actors again and see their performances now that they've, it's been many years since their other ones that I've seen. So to start us off is none other than the main character herself, Miss Zoe Kravitz! Oh yeah, Zoe Kravitz! Woo, Zoe Kravitz! So Zoe Kravitz, I have mentioned this before when I've talked about her. I don't think she's anything special. I don't think she's that great of an actress. I don't think she brings anything really that much to the table. And I think overall, it's her looks really that get her parts. And that's just my opinion. If you don't agree, I understand. But I still think that she was the wrong choice for this lead role. And overall, I didn't think she did very well with this performance. I thought she was very annoying. And also, I just thought that she could have done so much more to liven this character up for this Kimi film, and I thought she could have done more and not really get under your skin type of annoying it, because that's what my whole feeling was through this entire film with her character. Is she just got under my skin, was so annoying, and I didn't find that entertaining at all, and doesn't make for an enjoyable film. So I think she could have done so much better and could have brought a lot more better interpretation to the character. But a movie that I do really love her in, I thought she did a really fantastic job in, is a great film that came out in 2018 that stars Scarlett Johansson and a great slew of actresses. And that, of course, is a film called Rough Night. Yeah, Rough Night. Absolutely love this film. I think it's freaking hilarious. I think it's amazing. I think it's fun. And Zoe was really awesome in this film. I loved her character in this. I liked her passion. I liked her delivery. I liked everything about this character in this film. And I thought she worked really well with all the different characters in the film. And I thought this was probably one of her best performances, I feel, to date. And I just really enjoyed her character. I thought that she actually brought a lot of characterization to this character and gave us a really authentic portrayal, and just was really fun. If you haven't seen Rough Night, definitely check out Zoe in it. She was actually really good in it. But like I was saying, overall, I didn't care too much for her performance in this film, and I thought she could have done better. If you haven't seen Kimi yet, definitely check it out to see what you think of Zoe Kravitz's performance. The next actor I like to talk about is actually one that I hadn't seen anything in probably about 10 or so years, but is a great bit actor who had a great part in a great movie back in the 80s that I really enjoyed that I'll talk about in a moment. And it's just a really fun, it was so awesome to actually see him in this film. I couldn't believe he was in this film, and it just was so much fun to have him part of this film. And that is none other than the actor known as Mr. Jacob Vargas. Oh yeah, Jacob Vargas, woo, Jacob Vargas! Jacob Vargas. Wow, this guy is awesome. I've loved him ever since the first movie I ever saw him in. He has had a lot of great roles. He was in Romy and Michelle's high school reunion film, which was a really fantastic film. He plays in a auto mechanic that, Romy Romy herself is dealing with to try to get a car to look cool for their high school reunion, and he is absolutely hilarious in this film. And he just is a fun bit actor that has, I think, a lot of great small parts and roles that are just really great, and he brings such great, acting to the performance and just makes it really fun. Now, one film that I really enjoyed him, and I think is my all-time favorite of his, of course, is a 1986 film, which I believe is his first feature film that he was in. I could be wrong, but this is the first film I ever saw him in, was a great film called Ernest Goes to Camp. Yeah, Ernest Goes to Camp. Oh my god, this movie is so much fun. It's been years since I saw it, but it's such a great film. And Jacob Vargas plays one of the kids that Ernest is kind of in charge of. That is, basically in juvenile detention, taken to this camp to do rehabilitation type of deal. And Jacob Vargas is so freaking funny in this film and so fun. And it was such a great pleasure to be in this movie. It was just a great addition to the cast. But his interactions with all the other kids and with Jim Varney and stuff like that was on point and just showed how good of an actor he was going to be. And I just really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen Ernest Goes to Camp, definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. But overall, I thought Jacob Vargas was really really awesome in this film. Really enjoyed him as this like henchman character, and I think overall he did a really fantastic job and gave us a very entertaining character in this film. If you haven't seen Jacob Vargas in anything recently, definitely check him out on Kimi. He was really fun in it. So that brings me to the final character I'll be talking about in this film. Final actress, I should say. And that, of course, is kind of a bit-piece character in this film that plays a pivotal role in the whole film of Kimi. And that, of course, is Miss Erica Christensen! Oh yeah! Erica Christensen! Woo! Erica Christensen! So Erica Christensen, you might recognize, of course, from the film Perfect Score that had Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans in. You might recognize her from other few things over the years. She's done a lot of bit parts and stuff like that, and is a pretty decent actress, and pretty much anything I've ever saw in, I thought she's always been good, and she always brings a lot of great passion to her characters. Now, when it comes to her performance in, Kimi, the brief part she has, I thought she did a really good job. She played this type of character very well. She brought that great acting ability she has and gave us a really tour de force performance in that small portion that she got to be in. And really sold it for me, really sold the story of this character and made it very enjoyable during her, her acting presence in this film. Really enjoyable there, and a really good portion of small part that she had. But another film that I really enjoyed her in, I think is probably her best performance to date. And she just played such a great character in this film. And that, of course, is the 2005 film, Swim Fan. Yeah, Swim Fan. Yeah. This movie is so freaking fantastic. Great psychological thriller, murder mystery type of deal. With a psychopath, basically, character that, is stalking somebody. And Erica Christensen played this character to the T. She was so amazing as this evil character, and you just really believed she was this character, and that's how amazing her acting talent was in this film. And I feel she brings that to all of her performances, even if they're small or bigger. And she really brought to life this character, opposite of Jesse, I always forget his last name, Jesse Metcalf, I think it is. That was the other main character in Swim Fan, and he was really good in it too, but Erica Christensen was so amazing in this film. She was such a great evil bad guy, and she tore that into a new presence. It was such an amazing performance. If you have not seen Swim Fan, definitely check it out for Erica's performance. She was superb in it. But like I said, overall, I really enjoyed her performance in Kimi. She made the film more enjoyable, along with Jacob Vargas, and made the film enjoyable enough to finish and to watch, and made it more entertaining than some other acting performances that were in this film as well, or the main star herself. Just overall, I thought that Kimi was an okay film. But overall, I really enjoyed Erica in this film, and I thought she did a decent job. So what is Kimi about? Basically, the premise of the story is Kimi's the main character of Kimi, Zoe Kravitz, is basically has all these issues where she's, basically agoraphobic. And, of course, this is happening during the pandemic. And basically she works from home, and she comes across something in one of the feeds that she's editing and notices something, and it ends up being a murder. And so basically the rest of the film is about her kind of trying to figure out what's happening here, and her getting away from the bad guys into solving this woman's murder, basically. It has a great presence, it has a great premise, it has a great idea behind the film. It had a great concept, and all in all, but the thing that really dragged it down for me was Zoe Kravitz's performance. She just really didn't bring it for me, and unfortunately, that's why I have to give this one a 4 out of 10 stars. Golden Movie Boxes, I should say. And, overall, I thought the film was decent. It was enjoyable. It wasn't too shabby. It's definitely not Steven Soderbergh's best film. But overall, my biggest complaint really was Zoe Kravitz's performance, and I just didn't think she really fit in the film. But still in all, like I said, if you haven't seen the film, definitely check it out for yourself. See what you think, if you enjoy her. Overall, I didn't care too much for her, and that's what brings this film down for me and makes me not really care for this film. Overall, it still was enjoyable enough to watch. It's definitely worth a watch. And overall, I would give it 4 out of 10 Golden Movie Boxes up. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out on HBO Max now. Give it a watch. So that's it for this review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. As always, people, if you enjoy my channel and want to show support for it, definitely check out my links down below. Either from my Patreon page, where I do extras and cool extras for all my patrons who are a subscriber to my Patreon. They get all these extras. They get input into what I do next, all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely something to think about and check out. Definitely check it out if you want to show support for the channel. And also, people, if you enjoy horror films, definitely check out my link for the horror pack, where you can get great horror films to your door for a great low price. So definitely check that out too. As always, people, catch you in the next one!